Hey there and welcome back. So let's start to create some basic tests so we can see how this Playwright framework is working here. So we created the scripts, we have the test database, we did a dedicated test database for this, so we should be set for trying this out. So first we need to create a new file in the test folder here. So let's create a new file. Let's call it let's make a health check. Let me just health and then test.ts. So now we have made a file dedicated for testing. So that's why we've added this test.ts extension to the file. So first off, we will import a couple of library. We need the test object. We need to have an expect object that we need for being able to expect what the values, the return values are that we get from the API. And we're going to get them from Playwright. Let's see here. So this is okay. Then we're going to make a new function. We're going to do this health. And in that, we're going to make a test. And we're going to write the name of it. This is the string that will be displayed when we run the test. So let's just put health check. And then we will put an async function here. Okay, so then we have requests. I think I need to save it. Let me just adjust the spacings here with 2. I think we're going to do. Okay, so we have health check, we have async here, and let me just check. Yeah, so we can see we're using this request object to pass to this function here, and we need the request to be able to make a request. Just like we do in Postman, we make requests. So that's why we have this request object here that we can use in our test. So if we head over to this function here, we can see if we write, let's first do a const, and we do await, and then we can use this request here, and then we can hit dot, we can put in the HTTP methods, we're going to use a get, we're just going to test the health check. So this means we're going to use to test this one here, the get, the root endpoint here that will just tell us if the API is actually working. So we're going to put here API slash and this will return JSON. So we're going to await the JSON object from here. And we can see if we go back to the route here, we can see if we head over to the health check, this will return 200 and it's going to return this JSON message here to us. So that's why we are awaiting the JSON object, and then we can start to use this expect here, that where we can say that we're going to expect that the status of this response should be 200. That is in the optimal world here. We will have 200 and welcome to the TypeScript API. So that's the first check we're going to do. We're also going to check, we're going to expect the JSON to be equal to something we specify in here. And we're going to specify the actual, and I think I can just copy it from here. So I can just insert the actual data that we output from the API. So this is the first test we have defined here. The health function, we have one test. We can create more tests into this if we wanted to, but very, very basic. And we're not testing out any endpoints that actually connect to the database yet, but of course we can do that. So this is the first file here, and then we need to make a new file called testlist.ts. And the testlist.ts will tell Playwright in the order of how to run the test. So first, we're going to set the env, process env node for test. This way we know we're using this test environment. Then we're going to import our test object from Playwright. Now we're going to import our health function here. And we can see it has already found this. So we're going to go into health tests that has the health function that we have exported. And then we will also, because we need to .env flow. So we're going to import the .env flow package so that we are able to actually read the .env.test to see that the database URL. And actually, right now we don't need it, but when we will start to do the database, we will need to have this information here. So I'm just going to put it here, config. So we've set it up. The basic information's kind of the same as we did in the app.ts. But we needed to know the database URL when we get to that. So right now we don't need this actually. But then we're going to make tests, describe, and then we will put our health in here. And we can add more tests, of course, in here when we get into this. Okay, so the test list TS that will tell Playwright how to run the test, which one to run. We can specify the order of our test cases. So if we head over to package.json, we need to have we could start to run npx Playwright as we have here, and then we can put test, and then we can decide the reporter. I'm just going to make lists. So this will just generate a list in the terminal about how the test went. But we can also have other reporters like HTML and so on and so forth. But let's see if we run npx Playwright test, what will happen. So we can see Playwright runs here. We get this passed 45 milliseconds, one pass, because we have one test. And if we want to actually check that this is working, we can maybe do wrong path. This will not work. Then our test should fail. Yeah, so we can see that now we get an error. It says unexpected token. It can't find this endpoint. And then it will be marked with a fail, one failed. Okay, so it seems to work, this very simple test. So in the next video, we will try to do a bit more advanced testing that will test our endpoints, also include some database, and finally, hopefully, we can do some complete and workflow tests to register and log in and create a product and verify we have one product. So stay tuned for that. So hope you make this work and have fun. Bye-bye, and happy coding.